Hey everybody, it's the Iron Sun. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about today. So I was reviewing a video. Mike Jaco, he's a patriot in the United States. He talks about a lot of things that are going on right now with AIDS trafficking and even with the beer virus, a lot of stuff. So I'm going to review one video. This is going to be super short, but there's something he said, and there's something that his guests, like this kind of narrative that his guests are kind of perpetuating, and I just want to bring it up. Now, I'm going to criticize the hell out of him, but at the same time, y'all got to understand this is a combat vet. Also, he has a really good message, and he's doing a lot of good stuff for humanity. So, my respects to him. It's just something that I think could be worked out, could be done a little differently. That's all. Anyways, I'm not here to shit on anyone, technically. Well, not in a way that's going on in the truther community anyway. There's a lot of infighting in the truther community, and it's kind of sad. We could get a lot more done by working together, not throwing daggers at each other. I mean, think about who that helps. Which side does that help? Exactly. I don't even have to say it. Man. So without further ado, before I get into the video, I'll kind of say what the intent of this live stream is. So in this live stream, I'm calling out double standards. I might look into one or two videos. There's this phrase that women tend to say, but also you get some men that join in and they'll say, like, man up, right? So how I understand it, and what's been going on for the past 40, 50 years, you've had an entire organization comprising of mostly women by the name of feminism, saying that women can do So anyway, we've had an entire movement saying that women can do anything a man can do. We had an entire movement changing the family court laws. We've had an entire movement literally saying being a man is not good and being a man is somehow toxic. And you deregulated the sexual market of what would be a normal 9-to-5 man meets woman, gets married, has a child, raised family. We've deregulated all that, and we've told men that they don't mean anything. So just understand that for the people watching this who are in the truther community, or if you're just, if you're red pill, so to speak, understand part of that red pill is understanding what's been going on within the sexes. Men have been told that they can't be men. And ironically, it's not just by the cabal. It's been by women as well. I mean, they supported groups like feminism, and not realizing that feminism kind of is one of the main problems. That's kind of what causes that polarity shift. But then you get situations where, in the video I'm going to show you, where there are situations that need to be addressed by men, but then you have these bogged down men who aren't being men, but then you have people who want men to be men, but then they don't even know how to express that want in in a different way. That's all I'll say for now. I'll start the video and see what we can get out of it. Start at 19. So, by the way, this information is going to be a little bit hard for some to take, but I'm going to start getting into deeper stuff on this channel, and it's going to be pretty heavy stuff going forward. So, yeah, that's another thing.
You guys are get the job done, guys. You can get the job done in life, any job, but you've got to have a laugh along the way, because that's what the difference between full unto God and the Satanists. We can still laugh, but we've got to get the job done, and we will do it.
So that's amazing, Claire, that you brought up about that intelligence agency, because that was one of the questions I wanted to delve into. So I see we all have like this intuitive thing going on. That's beautiful. So the abilities that you have with remote viewing.
I don't yet.
So Carmen and I have done remote influencing, and it's very, very effective. I feel that you're already doing that, and that's why you're so like, bring it, because you're a remote influencer as well. And I will help you that. So there are a lot of people, I can tell you, that are on your side. There's white hats big time in Europe, and especially in the UK. So you're being protected on a certain level. Don't drop your guard, of course, but don't think you're out there all by yourself. So Madison, jumping in on that 3-letter agency stuff. Now, with all the Epstein stuff, that was definitely involved with the intelligence agencies. I said it right from the beginning. Epstein's still alive. They just basically, faked his death so that they could take him somewhere else and get some information from him. So what do you know about these intelligence agencies? And I think that might be one of the reasons why they wanted you to be in the military tribunals. This could be a long shot on my part, but I don't know how deep you want to go into that. Claire just opened that door. Thank you, Claire. So
Sure.
what can you say, Madison?
So I actually released on Telegram one of the pictures, because there was torture. I was on Epstein Island with, and I have not said that before. This is the first time I'm saying that. And yes, Epstein is alive for sure. They kept him alive because this operation that they're taking down right now, I mean, I've said it before, it's a huge, this has been going on since they turned the America into the corporation, right? So this is like what, 50, 60, however many years
1830s or something like
1830, that. Yeah. So I mean, a long time operation. And yes, so I actually I am not in Colorado anymore. I was, but what these 3-letter agencies were coming after me like crazy, and 2 actually were like, listen, we're good, I promise we're good, we want to combat train you, like and I was like, I'm not trusting any of you guys, because that the information and the receipts that I have, because I have, anytime I speak out, I have receipts for it, and I'm not getting sued by these people, like, so I have receipts for everything. And so they were like, no, listen, trust us. And so they actually retired out of the 3-letter agency and trained me to combat train, and are like a part of the team now that I have, like extracting children, because it's like I couldn't do it without them. And so yes, they're very corrupt. There's also what happened at the 6th, like when they said the Capitol was infiltrated. One of these 3-letter agencies, I have 7 friends, that they showed up at their door, like at dinner time, and said, you tweeted about this, you Facebooked about this, like just so corrupt. And yes, there were multiple, I can't say who on certain ones because I'm under a gag order, but I can tell you one of the heads of this agency was very much at the tribunal, and I testified against him, and he is guilty.
Yeah.
This is like, oh my gosh, 2 in a row in less than 5 minutes.
Like,
Wow.
so yeah, I felt that this was going to be a big show, so that's beautiful. And that's a massive reveal, and things that I've been talking about for a while. So you're confirming it with firsthand experiences. It's beautiful. So what else? I know. So for the audience that's listening that don't know about Madison and Claire, they're both physically involved in helping to rescue children. And Madison gave a account one time with Claire where she like had a black eye from wrestling with a woman because half of the team basically were pulled out by the current administration because they basically profited off this guy. And this current administration, of course, throughout Europe and so forth, a lot of those administrations and those dark hats, as we can call them, are an extremely profitable organization. I've seen some people.
So I'm going to give a little information on what they're talking about. So they're talking about a lot of the trafficking that's been going on with children. And they were talking about the corporation. I think by that they were referring to the 1871 document that was signed by one of our presidents. I believe it was Ulysses S. Grant. So basically, the United States has been occupied territory since the 1870s, I think the early 1870s. And we've been kind of used for other people's bidding. And of course, you got operations going on against that. But this is currently what's going on, and that gives you a little more context.
People that would blow you guys away, just like these beautiful ladies have. That I can tell you that the very, very top of the people that we adore and think are fantastic are very, very much involved in some very ugly things with this. If you guys want to go a little bit deeper into that, just jump in.
Well, they are. I mean, I say this all the time, is that you're wrestling demons. I mean, this is of another level of evil. And I've gone in there and like, Claire knows this, but the one that I went in before this rescue, I've gotten hurt twice. I was stabbed in one before. It wasn't a bad stab. Thankfully for the combat training, I just had a couple stitches, but it is literally, I think, because I'm coming in there, I have God on me. He's covering me. We pray before we go in. And it's like, I mean, I can see the demons in them, but I have to have that prayer so those demons don't attach to me. Like it's, intense and fighting them. I mean, we're going to go on one soon. And it's like, and I want to say this too, because Claire got a lot of hate because they kept saying, oh, she's interrupting me and whatever. Claire and I partnered up because her and I were both getting attacked.
Yeah, because she had the flat, she wasn't thinking straight. And I knew that
the women are doing the.
We need to get this out to the world now.
There you go. All right. So this was kind of the main point of the live stream. And they're going to say something. They're going to say a couple of things. I had a couple of words in the chat. But yeah, by the way, again, these people are doing very good things. It's just I have a slight criticism of this kind of just some of the things that they're saying. That's kind of the point of this. I just want to point it out.
And let everybody hear this. I said, I don't want you, because she hasn't slept. She wasn't thinking straight. And I knew that she would say things that she shouldn't say. So I had to, and there's a delay from America as well sometimes on Zoom, which is a nightmare. So I had to try and say and talk over a bit. And I got really crapped on by some individuals saying, oh, just let her talk, you're the host and all that. I'm thinking, not a host, I'm a mother of one who's just got into the
Right. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that blows me away because I was trained, as a warrior, and I'm like, why don't they call me? And you're Madison, sweet little Madison, you're going in and doing this job because you know, the real men aren't doing it. It really pisses me off. So this is another reason why I want everybody that watches this to get fired up.
So before they go into that, I'm kind of gonna give my initial thought. So I think Mike Jaco is a cool guy, but like I've noticed whenever a lot of the truthers, whenever they get together and they talk about, oh, men aren't doing this, men aren't doing that, I've noticed they're very careful. And this is the same thing I've noticed with comedians. Just, this is just a thought. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I've noticed it's easy for them to criticize guys, but I noticed it's extremely difficult for like someone like Mike Jaco. He probably wouldn't criticize women in mass, or even comedians wouldn't. A lot of times they don't add a lot of heavy criticism to women because they can't take it. But we're equally culpable in this whole mess that's going on. I mean, that's kind of what I want to say. I kind of agree that we do need men, but in order to get men to step up, well, I'll go further with that after I play a little bit more.
You know, the real
and fighting them. I mean, we're going to go on one soon, and it's like, and I want to say this too, because Claire got a lot of hate because they kept saying, oh, she's interrupting me and whatever. Claire and I partnered up because her and I were both getting attacked by so many different people that she was protecting me in a very emotional state to make sure that, one, I wasn't saying anything to jeopardize any kind of court operation so these people go to prison. She was protecting me, and so I will always stand by her, because that is like, it just really pissed me off. So I just want to say that on here, like, screw all the haters.
Don't mess with her.
I think what happened was you've not slept for 46 hours, and she come out of all that, and she hasn't slept for 46 hours, and a little boy that we named Angel had passed away in her arms. And I said to her, we need to get this out to the world now and let everybody hear this. I said, I don't want you, because she hadn't slept, she wasn't thinking straight, and I knew that she would say things that she shouldn't say. So I have to, and there's a delay from America as well sometimes on Zoom, which is a nightmare. So I have to try and say and talk over a bit. And I got really crapped on by some individuals saying, oh, just let her talk, you're the host and all that. I'm thinking, I'm not a host, I'm a mother of one who's just got into the fight.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
that blows me away, because I was trained, as
Here it comes.
and I'm like, why don't they call me? And you're Madison, sweet little Madison, you're going in and doing this job because the real men aren't doing it. It really pisses me off. So this is another reason why I want everybody that watches this to get fired up, because we have the women are doing the man's job right now, and that's good. I'm not knocking that. I've worked with women quite a bit in combat and stuff like that. So helped me discover and find lots of terrorists that we took out of action. But it's very frustrating, because you had a team of people. They got a lot of those men decided not to get involved. If I was there, I'd have disobeyed orders. I'm not going in and I'm doing this. I don't care. And I've done that. And that's what me and other people need to do right now. Start doing it.
Well, and that's when I reached out to Madison. I found her, or somebody actually helped me find her website. And that's what I said is, you've seen me, Michael. I stay so calm. I've alchemized a lot of things. But when I saw Madison had to do that, and she had the black eye, I was like shook. And same kind of indignation, like, where are the people? Why aren't people showing up? And then people are like, I can't believe you're putting these videos out. And I'm like, how could I not put them out? What are people thinking? As a matter of fact, everyone should be copying this and putting it on their thing too, so they can't even keep up.
Right. Well, that's what I like. Michael staying with the men. Like, I said this about the muzzles. I'm like, why are these men just cuckold to the government at this point? Is that the right word? Cuckold? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you are literally grow up, man up, and luckily
There it
we
is. You
went
hear the
in.
man up?
Some didn't like obey orders, but I
You hear the man up?
definitely have survived it, and they stole so much from me. There's no way I cannot go in to battle and fight for them. But these men do need to stand up, because I agree,
Men
the
aren't
men
gonna
should
stand
be
up.
leading it. Listen, I believe in the Bible. I think that the men should be the leaders.
You hear that?
I shouldn't be the one leading
You
these
hear
teams.
that?
I think
All right, so let me kind of break this down. A lot of the women, especially in the Western world, who claim, there's a lot to unpack here, but a lot of the women who claim that they believe in the Bible and they believe that the man should be the leader, they say that, but a lot of these women wouldn't submit to a man. Like for a lot of them, the Western culture has made them believe that being in submission to a man is not a good thing, and that the woman has to be the masculine in the dynamic. So look, I support everything she's doing other than what she's saying, because I mean, unless she proves me wrong. But I mean, I kind of agree. A lot of the guys, here's the thing. I agree. The guys who are wearing the mask in public, it makes me ashamed. It almost makes me feel bad as a man, because I'm looking at them, and from man to man, it's like, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. Like, what are you doing? It's like, for me, it's like, damn, you don't have testosterone. Do you have any semblance of manhood? And obviously no, if they're wearing it. But the thing is, here's the problem. The way they're going at this, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I'll tell you why, but I'm gonna keep going just to see. Started
them out. What are people thinking? As a matter of fact, everyone should be copying this and putting it on their thing too, so they can't even keep up.
right? Well, that's what I like. Michael saying with the men. Like I said this about the Muslims. I'm like, why are these men just cuckold to the government at this point? Is that the right word? Cuckold? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you are literally grow up,
they're
man
coupled
up,
to their women.
and luckily
part
when
of them.
we went
Some of
in,
them.
some didn't like obey orders, but I definitely have survived it, and they stole so much from me. There's no way I cannot go in to battle and fight for them. But these men do need to stand up, because I agree, the men should be leading it. Listen, I believe in the Bible. I think that the men should be the leaders. I shouldn't be the one leading these teams. I think that the men need to stand up, and they need to grow up, and they need to really start fighting, because it's, there's very few like you out there, Michael, that are speaking truth and standing up and actually in the battle, fighting it.
I think we need to recruit some Amazonian women. That's what we need.
Wonder Woman. There you are. Well,
you women are definitely Wonder Woman. And
you hear that,
talk
man?
About
I don't know. Maybe I'm just an asshole, but it seems like he's kind of just capitulating to him a little. But then they're kind of on their ego high horse, like, oh, look at us women. We're women. We're doing our thing. We're going out there. We're making a difference. Look, and this is no shade. I mean, I think she's making a big difference. The thing is, the route she's going at about actually getting men to do things, it doesn't work. Shame doesn't work. It doesn't work on men. It works really well on women. It doesn't work on men. So here's a couple of things I have with it. So one of the things they were saying was that the men were like, cuckold, she used cuckold. So cuckold would actually have to do more with the relationship the man has with his girl. So if he's raising another man's child, like a stepdad kind of situation, or if he's a stepdad by proxy. So maybe there's a guy around who the woman, or maybe a best friend who is actually the kid's father. That's a cuckold. That's a cuckold situation. Now, I think she was trying to say the men are cowards and they're kind of supplicating and being submissive to the government, which a lot of them are. That's true. And it annoys me. It pisses me off, because honestly, men have been beaten down for a long time. And a lot of them have been shamed, even by women. So to now hear a woman say, hey, man up, grow up. It's just like, you believe men should lead, but you don't even look up to them. You're telling them to grow up. I don't really know how else to go further with this. I don't think you're actually going to get the response you want from men. I mean, the thing is, men protect what they love. They have to have something that they're worth, that's worth sacrificing for. And here's the thing. I think every last one of those little kids are worth sacrificing for. But this whole I am woman, hear me roar shit, and this whole all men are awful because I'm doing good. Like, good. Look, the stuff you're doing, I probably will never know. I'll probably never be able to do it myself. Like, I'm definitely not going to get hired by some 3-letter agency to go out and extract children. I mean, I'm really happy you got, the chance to do that. I definitely would if I got the chance. That would be pretty fucking awesome. I just severely doubt that's ever going to happen. Here's the thing. I think there's still men out there who are masculine, and there's still men trying to salvage their masculinity after having years of being raised by single moms, years of being fucked over by women, years of being fucked over by the system. You're not going to get the response you want. Whoever this lady is, what's her name? Madison Marquette, Pastor Dragonfly, Claire O'Kill. Look, y'all are doing some amazing stuff. So I'm not here to shit on what you're doing. I'm here to shit on the way you're presenting some of your information. Like, you're not going to get the response from these people you think you are just by shaming them. Even if they're not men. Here's the thing. Like, most people are good. In my opinion, most people, if you tell them something bad is going on and you give them an opportunity to do something about it, you give them a route, a window where they can do something, they'll at least look into it. That's what I believe. Now, yes, there are people who will just ignore it and walk away, but you're not really going to get the response you want from people you're not going to get the response you want. Now, there's a lot of ways I can unpack this, but the whole shaming language that's typically used a lot by women, they use shaming language to get men to do something. And I'm kind of surprised it exists even in the truther community, where supposedly we're supposed to not believe in a lot of the things that have held us back. But, this whole cabal thing, what do you think they were doing to males, by the way? They were feminizing them. Who do you think they used to feminize the males? Partly chemicals, partly the food, but women. They masculinized the women, and the women were kind of doing what y'all were doing in the chat, bolstering themselves up, saying, oh yeah, we can be the men, basically. But then lambasting the men by shaming them and saying, hey, we need you to man up and we need you to grow up. So then basically you're saying, well, because the men aren't doing something, they need to grow up and they need to get with the program, get with your program. So they need to listen to you. Here's the thing. And it kind of pissed me off when I heard this. And I hear this a lot from the truthers, not just these group of truthers, and not just because, again, Mike Jaco, he has a really good message. He does some really good stuff. I just think he doesn't really do a lot to stand up for men, and he doesn't do a lot to actually embrighten any type of masculinity. He just kind of goes along with what the women are saying. What's kind of funny is they were kind of flirting with them at the end of the stream, which, I don't really care. He's like a strong, muscular dude, so that's perfectly fine. I'm not like, that's perfectly fine, but it's like you were shitting on men, but then flirting with the guy at the end. I don't know. What else? There's a couple of other things. Look, y'all. So I'm not knocking their message. I think the stuff that they're talking about is extremely important. But as a man, I'm kind of getting tired of us being shamed for all kinds of stuff, just randomly. It's really annoying. Like, you're saying men need to get out there and do something. Well, what do you think I am? You could look at my channel, by the way. My channel's alive and well. I had to update this. to update this real quick. All right. So anyway, yeah. So the whole man up thing. Here's what it does. Here's the problem with it. Let me start with this. You have to understand the thing about men. They protect what they love. They protect the weak. They protect the needy. But the thing is, you can't shame them into protecting something. It's not really going to work. They'll just be bitter against you. And the lady that says she believes men are the head, I fully bet she's probably in her relationships. Here's the thing. I could be wrong. She'd have to prove me wrong with this. I'm not sure, but most of the Western women, they're the heads of their relationship, and they actually believe that they're the head. And if their husband is an alpha male and actually decides to lead and take charge and be masculine and, lead the family, a lot of times they'll sabotage him. But that's because what's sad is it's largely because the system allows for these things to happen, because that's what's causing the problem. Men want to lead. Naturally, we're born to lead. We're born to take action. We're born to defend the needy, but we're not born to do it out of, because someone told us to and shamed us and told us to grow up and, be an adult as if we're not an adult. I mean, you know how demeaning that is? If Mike Jaco in his stream just took a dump on women, I bet you all three of those women right there would not react very well. And I could kind of see he's being careful with his words. But thing is, I think the guys can take criticism. I don't think any of those women, and I don't think a lot of women can't take criticism, because there's enough blame to go around. There's just as much zombie brain dead women walking around wearing masks as there are men. And some would argue that there's more women. But regardless of either or, you got to understand this control mechanism, feminism, the cabal within the sexes. This stuff is deeper than just, saying, oh, this side's better than this side. It's no, we're both being used against each other. But if y'all, this is a call out. So if y'all are really trying to get men to make a difference, then prove it. Encourage them. Tell them that their masculinity is needed. Tell them that you need them. Make them feel needed. Don't make them feel shamed. Don't make them feel less than what they are. A lot of men were raised by single mothers, so they already feel, I know this from experience. We've already felt downtrodden. We've already felt emasculated. We've been emasculated by school systems, by the majority female teachers in the school systems. We've been emasculated by embittered single mothers. We've been emasculated by girlfriends, by wives. For what? For an agenda, for an agenda of the cabal. If y'all really want men to work together and actually go and sacrifice their life to help children and to help you, to help womankind, because that's another problem. A lot of women feel like they're entitled to help from men. But no, again, men protect what they love, and they protect things that they feel are sacred. Men protect things that are sacred. A lot of women aren't very sacred right now. They're kind of killing babies in utero. It's kind of getting very hard to want to protect a woman. Now, a child is innocent. So to your point, Carmen Studer, to your point, Mike Jaco, to your point, Madison Marquette, Claire O'Kell, we do need men. We need men to step up. That's true, in order to help. But the mechanism that you're using to actually get men to do things, it won't work. The men are downtrodden. They've been emasculated. A lot of them have been feminized. You shaming them is just going to further emasculate them. It's just going to further feminize. It doesn't help. So if you're serious about it, come at it a different way. And I'll actually go on stream and chat, because here's the thing. Like, I love what y'all are doing. I love the message. I love that y'all are getting it out, and I'll spread it. I'm talking to a guy. He's coming in. We're going to have a chat on Monday about a lot of these issues. Thing is, listen, men, yes, we will sacrifice our life for a greater purpose, but we will not do it. We will not sacrifice our lives for something that isn't sacred. We will not do it just because someone tells us to. I'm especially not going to do it just because someone shames me and says, hey, man, you need to step up and be a man. Step up and be a man. Really? Really? Like, you got to understand, like, I'm not necessarily mad. I'm not necessarily mad at y'all. I am for what you said, but it's the deeper aspect of it. Like, y'all are truthers. Y'all should see it. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm willing to come on and talk about it. Like, I'm not even hiding. So, yeah. And I might do a call out stream for a super short one, just to see if I could get it out there. But again, all my respects and hats off to Mike Jaco for the sacrifices you made. Carmen Suter, what's her name? The new lady, Madison Marquette, and Claire O'Kell. Y'all were so anyway, all my respects to y'all. I think your message is really good. I know I'm kind of annoyed and getting vented and angry right now, but here's the thing. We want men and women to work together. We can't use shame. It won't work. You have men making a difference. So celebrate those men. Keep celebrating men. That's how you get men to do things. You celebrate them. You also show them you need them. Shame won't get them to do it. Men aren't going to risk their lives and die. What's sad is they will, because, the white feather campaign where they were passing out feathers to men who didn't enlist in war, and the women would pass out feathers, basically stating that the guy, symbolizing that the guy was a coward. And the guy would, it'd basically be a public declaration that the guy is a coward, and you'd have men going to line up to go to war and then die. A lot of these men weren't even full-fledged adults. They were like 17, 18, 16, and they would go to war and die. But the women didn't even have to go to war and die. This was men. These were the men that had to do this. So yeah, Jaco, you have women that are helping and, helping with the effort and stuff. But a lot of the wars of our forefathers fought, I understand you're a vet and everything, and I'm not trying to take away from that, but men are the ones who had to die in war. This isn't something like, in a way, we're like sleeping giants. Yes, you have men who are feminized. Yes, you have men who are emasculated, but a lot of you have this other group. You have this group of men who still have a masculine spirit, and they're still strong. They need encouragement. They need to be challenged. Challenge them. Don't, that's all. I don't need to cover another video. And also, peace and love to all of them. I don't really have any resentments against them. It's kind of ironic because I thought I was going to go off, but I don't really have any ill feelings towards them as people, because what they're doing is extremely good. So I'm going to get the message out. I'm going to do what I can on my side. But just as a thought, shaming men won't get us to help. You as a woman, yes, you're doing things to help, and that's good, and I'm happy for you. And yes, you say men, you believe men should lead. The problem is most women, especially in the West, especially in the United States, they don't believe men should lead. And they've actually taken that role on themselves, if we're being honest. If you look at feminism, if you look at all the cultural changings in society and the roles changing for women, and all of those roles changing quite significantly over a period of 4 or 5 decades, changing. We're basically changing what has been transpiring for tens of thousands of years. The men were the warriors. The men were the ones who sacrificed their lives to save their families, to save their nation. But now we can't even get a semblance of respect. You want men to do things, but you don't give them respect. You shame them. You say, hey, grow up, be an adult. I don't think that's going to get you anything. If anything, they're going to cuss you out and be like, fuck you, bitch. Seriously. Like, no matter what you've done, like, yeah, you could go in and help kids and stuff, but seriously, though. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this country, and a lot of us, there's a good chance a lot of us are going to lose siblings. A lot of us are going to lose wives. A lot of us, like, there's a possibility that bad things can happen. And look, I'm trying to stay positive, and I'm trying to understand where a lot of people are coming from. But, take this, by the way, me as a minority, me as a black guy, just understand, I know the effects of feminism. I know the effects of, the cabal. Who do you think they started on in America? They started on my community. They started breaking down my community. They convinced the women that they don't need the men, and the women decided to live off of welfare. And that's under Lyndon Baines Johnson and with his Greater America Society. They basically decided that welfare was more important than family, their men, and their entire culture. And now we see the after effects. There's like 70% out of wedlock births in the United States for black Americans. But you tell us to man up. Thing is, how do you man up if you're being raised by mainly mothers? You know how many single mothers there are, right? And it just keeps going and going on and on and on. The outcomes for children are better even with single fathers financially. But we have mainly single mothers, and we're uplifting them. We're saying, oh, yes, you're doing this amazing thing by being a single mother. I spent half of my life feeling like shit, feeling like less than a man because I was raised by my mom, because my mom couldn't teach me to be a man. Now that I'm actually trying to be one, I have to come and hear women trying to shit on men in the United States. Again, granted, they're doing great things themselves, but that's a joke. Like, stop. You're going to have to come correct. You can't come with that shit. You're not going to get help. You're going to get cussed out, or you're going to get laughed at. Seriously. Those are my thoughts. And for the bald guy, nothing with respect. Mike Jaco's pretty cool. Dude, come on, man. Look, you want men to be more masculine. Okay, support men. Encourage men. Have an entire segment, just a video where you encourage men to be men. Give them exercises on your videos. You have a platform. You have this great platform. You have this great following, and you have a great. You have a nice set. You have a nice set of ladies on the screen, and they're helping out, and they're doing very good things. But the thing is, you claim you want to help men. Make a segment for men. Talk to the men. Talk specifically to the men, because there are men out there who weren't raised by their fathers. They didn't have their fathers. They didn't have the strong alpha type. They were surrounded by their mothers, so that they learned to be emotional. They learned to be feminine, like a woman. Like, I got to be careful, but like, I'm kind of angry, kind of annoyed. I have a lot of reverence for these people on the screen, but at the same time, it annoys me to hell that they can't see certain things. Yeah, I might do more videos on this kind of thing. Also, I'm probably gonna do some exercise shit for guys too. I'm gonna come up with a couple of workouts, but that's after I get the workouts in myself done. But yeah. And here's the thing. I don't think it's just about men. I think we need to support women being women again. We need to support femininity in women. Yes, we need to support women doing, women who are doing righteous things, even if it's masculine. I think we should support it if it's, you know, if it's righteous. If they're doing something because it needs to be done, you know, I have nothing against that. But the problem is we don't even support femininity in women. So we're kind of backwards. We're going about this shit backwards as fuck. And then while we're going about it backwards as fuck, we're giving a lot of women pats on the back. It's like, oh yes, you were masculine. But then we're saying, hey man, come on, you got to be like her because she's being masculine. She's not being a woman. Like a lot of them aren't. Understand what I'm saying? I think it's perfectly fine that they're doing these things, and it makes sense. They're rescuing children, and they have maternal instincts. It makes sense that they want to do that. But again, with the shaming language, with the all the other bullshit that's going on, how a lot of truthers and even people in various other communities, even in the media, how they respond to men. People who've been emasculated ever since the 60s, ever since the bra burning era, ever since feminism came out. And you know how many women jumped on that bandwagon, but y'all haven't spoken a thing against feminism, but it's still prolific in our society. I'm done. I will rant forever, and I'm not going to do that. It wasn't the purpose of this. All respect to these people for making the sacrifices they made to help people, especially Jaco for getting the message out. Yeah. These are just my thoughts. This is just my opinion. I think there's a lot of stuff going on in society, and when it comes out, it's a lot of people aren't going to be able to take it. It's going to fuck them up. But I think it's high time we've been fucked up, because this is really serious. I mean, you can't really make any of this stuff up either, even though it looks made up. So, again, all respects to Jaco, to Madison Marquette, Claire O'Kell, Pastor Dragonfly. Just a little frustrated about things. Jaco, it'd be cool to come on. Honestly, it'd be cool to talk about a lot of what's plaguing the young men in society right now, because I believe I have a perspective on that. But yeah, and this is coming from a guy who doesn't wear a mask. I walk into a mall, I go everywhere, I don't wear a mask. Haven't taken anything up my nose, no PCR tests, no beard virus, vax, none of that. And I actually share protocols with people, and I talk to people and educate them, and they look at me like I'm fucking strange. At Walmart, everywhere I go, I talk to them, hammer it, and I hammer it, and I hammer it. Even close relatives, I've said things, and they've looked at me like I'm nuts, but I keep doing it. I don't even know why I keep doing it. I just do. It feels painful because you know, praise the ones who are doing the good things. I don't think we should worry about the ones who aren't doing anything, because they're probably not going to do anything, and they probably never will. But praise the men who are doing good. Praise the women who are doing good. Honestly, I don't think we should focus on the women who are doing bad either. Those are just my thoughts.